The first thing the Galactic Council noticed about humanity was how quiet they were. When Earth was discovered, third planet of an unremarkable yellow star near the Orion Spur, it was already buzzing with radio noise, electromagnetic chatter spilling into space like static. The Council classified it as a developing civilization, curious, chaotic, dangerous only to itself. No representatives were sent. No warnings issued. Humanity was catalogued and ignored. That, in hindsight, was the Council's first mistake. The second mistake came decades later, when the Dravathi Dominion decided Earth was useful. The Dravathi were old by galactic standards, reptilian, methodical, and utterly convinced of their own superiority. Their fleets had subjugated dozens of worlds, and their doctrine was simple. Emerging species were resources, not equals. Earth, rich in water, heavy metals, and an absurd diversity of biological matter, was ripe for integration. The invasion began without ceremony. Orbital platforms appeared above Earth's atmosphere in perfect geometric formations. Communication satellites went dark. Cities lost power. Then came the first kinetic strikes, surgical, precise, devastating. Coastal capitals vanished in white fire. Military installations were erased before alarms could even finish sounding. The Dravathi broadcast a single message across every remaining channel. By decree of the Dominion, this world is now under Dravathi's stewardship. Submit, and your species may continue in service. The Galactic Council observed from afar, as they always did. Intervention was debated, briefly. Humanity had no seat. No treaties. No formal recognition. The Dravathi, after all, were a member in good standing. Earth burned. But humanity did not submit. What the Council failed to understand, what the Dravathi never bothered to study, was that humans had been preparing for extinction since the moment they learned it was possible. Their history was a catalog of self-inflicted near-annihilations, nuclear standoffs, engineered plagues, climate collapse scares. Survival, for humans, was not an instinct. It was an obsession. Within hours of the invasion, governments collapsed, and something older took their place. Decentralized command networks activated, ones never acknowledged publicly. Subterranean facilities sealed. Data vaults opened. Civilian industries were repurposed overnight. Mining drones became weapons platforms. Fusion research projects abandoned for decades were pushed into reckless acceleration. And somewhere deep beneath the shattered crust of Earth, a decision was made. If they could not win conventionally, they would not fight conventionally. The Dravathi advanced methodically, as expected. Ground forces deployed to secure population centers. Biological harvesters began cataloging human DNA for labor optimization. Resistance was fierce but localized, small victories, heavy losses. Then the first Dravathi cruiser vanished. No explosion. No debris field. One moment it was there, broadcasting dominance. The next, it simply wasn't. The Dominion fleet paused. Sensors found nothing. Long-range scans detected no energy discharge. No known weapon matched the phenomenon. The Council delegates leaned forward in their observation chambers. Interest peaked for the first time. Hours later, a second cruiser disappeared. Then a third. The Dravathi retaliated with orbital saturation, glassing regions suspected of housing human weapons. Earth responded by doing something no one in the galaxy had ever attempted. They hacked physics. Human scientists had never fully understood faster-than-light travel the way the elder races claimed to. What they had done was weaponize the parts they didn't understand. Using unstable space-time folds, dismissed by the Council as mathematically inelegant, humanity created localized reality failures. They called them null pockets. Inside them, the universe simply stopped behaving. Dravathi ships caught in the pocket ceased to exist in any meaningful sense. Matter unraveled. Time fragmented. Crews died before they could perceive death. The weapons were inefficient, dangerous, and utterly terrifying. The Dominion demanded emergency arbitration. The Galactic Council convened for the first time in centuries, their great chamber filled with light and layered holograms. Humanity, battered and bleeding, transmitted a request for representation. It was denied. "They are reacting irrationally," the Dravathi ambassador hissed. "We must be allowed to restore order." The Council agreed to issue a warning to Earth, a single, cold message delivered via automated probe. Cease deployment of prohibited technologies. Continued escalation will result in sanctions. Humanity's reply was not immediate. When it came, it was not a message. It was a demonstration. Beyond the edge of the Sol system, far from Earth, a human-built device activated. It was small, no larger than a cargo vessel. Inside it was an experiment born of desperation and fury, a controlled artificial singularity, bound by quantum scaffolding and pointed outward. The device did not explode. It spoke. A gravitational wave rippled across interstellar space, a low-frequency scream that every sensor in the galaxy felt. 3 uninhabited systems collapsed inward, their stars crushed into premature black holes. Trade routes vanished. Navigation charts became obsolete in seconds. The council chamber fell into chaos. "That's impossible," one delegate whispered. Humanity finally transmitted a message, encoded in every known diplomatic frequency. "We asked to be seen. You chose silence. This is what silence costs." Panic spread. Member species scrambled fleets to defensive positions. Borders closed. Ancient weapons were powered up for the first time in millennia. The Dravathi Dominion, realizing too late what they had provoked, attempted a full withdrawal from Sol. They never made it. Humanity unleashed everything. Autonomous war intelligences, outlawed by every council accord, flooded Dravathi networks, rewriting command hierarchies mid-battle. Kinetic lances accelerated asteroids to relativistic speeds. Null pockets blossomed like dark flowers across contested space. The final blow came when Earth revealed its most terrifying innovation, retaliatory certainty. Human command systems were designed so that no single authority could stop them. Even if Earth fell, especially if Earth fell, the weapons would fire. Targets were pre-selected, triggers automated. The galaxy itself became the hostage. The Council broadcast an emergency ceasefire order. Humanity ignored it. The Dravathi homeworld was not destroyed. It was worse. Its star was subtly destabilized, its fusion balance nudged just enough to guarantee a supernova within decades. Long enough for the Dravathi to understand. Short enough that nothing could be done. When the last Dravathi transmission faded, the war was over. Earth was scarred. Billions were dead. Oceans boiled in places. Cities were ruins. But humanity endured. The Galactic Council reconvened one final time. The chamber was quieter than it had ever been. No holographic splendor. No ceremonial light. Just delegates staring at a new presence in the center of the room. A human envoy, unarmed, unsmiling. "You broke every law we have," a council elder said.
Carefully.
"Yes," the human replied. "You wrote those laws without us. You destabilized the galaxy." "No," the envoy said. "We're reminded we exist." There was talk, brief, fearful talk of punishment, of containment, of preemptive strikes. But no one spoke them aloud for long, because every delegate knew the truth now. Humanity did not seek conquest. They did not want dominion. They wanted never to be ignored again. The Council voted. Earth was granted immediate full membership. Emergency revisions to galactic law were enacted. Prohibitions were rewritten, not to ban human technologies, but to ensure no species would ever face annihilation without representation again. The session ended early. And after that day, the Galactic Council never spoke casually of war. They spoke carefully. They spoke quietly. And whenever a young species was discovered, loud, messy, and full of potential, the elders remembered Earth. Because the galaxy had learned a lesson written in gravity and fire. Humanity does not ask twice.